Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Sorry for it being forever since my last video. This video is just going to be me talking about personal stuff that probably doesn't help anyone. It's just me getting stuff off my chest, I guess. So proceed at your own caution and discretion. Those of you who follow me on Tumblr may already be aware of this, but not too long ago, my employer offered me a 3-year renewal contract. So they offered me 3 more years at this job on top of the 1 year that I've already been here. And being offered that contract made me have to really sit down and think about my future, how much longer I want to be at this particular job, and how much longer I want to be in Japan in general. It was a long time, a couple of weeks of like really serious internal debate, but in the end I decided to commit to a 3-year contract, so I'll be here for 3 more years, but I put in the provision that I may leave earlier without penalty if something else particularly good comes up. But anyway, yeah, it looks like I'll be here for 3 more years, and I'm happy about having a secure job for 3 more years, but there's also signing on for 3 more years has essentially like sentenced me to not being able to come out of the closet or pursue transition for 3 more years. And I'm still coming to terms with that because, you know, 3 years is a long time. So if I'm still coming to terms with that, that means I'm not completely happy with the situation, right? And yeah, I'm not, but I signed a 3-year contract because all of the things that I want to pursue, and as much as I want to pursue them now and be out of the closet now, I need money. And I'm completely broke and in debt right now. So it feels like it would be in my best interest to stay 3 more years, to, you know, give myself time to get things together and save more money so that I can be in a better position to pursue things when I finally do leave Japan or leave this job. That said, 3 more years of, yeah, feeling like I can't do the things that I want to do, having to cope with being misgendering myself, all this crap. It's going to be hard. And coping, that's totally something that I am shitty at. I don't even really cope, and I'll get a bit more into that. I've been thinking about lately how I cope, and I really want to put cope in quotes because I feel like I'm not really coping, because I picture coping as being a good thing that you do to, I don't know, get through things. But I feel like the way my coping mechanisms are ultimately self-destructive, and thinking about that lately, I feel like I need to change something, or else, yeah, maybe, I don't know. Things are going okay now, but that may not always be the case. So anyways, to backtrack, when I say coping, when I talk about my coping, it's more like ignoring things, pushing thoughts and feelings to the furthest depths back of my mind, and then locking it away and not addressing things. That's what I do. I push things out of my mind, or pretend that something didn't just offend me, or like make myself numb to my own feelings or the things that I hear in order to not deal with things. And in not dealing with things and just shoving them aside, it's like a pile of crap that is growing, and I probably should stop doing that, but I don't know what else I can do because I've been doing that pretty much my entire life at this point. At work, I guess a lot of the situations that I have to cope with are possibly a bit unique to the fact that I'm teaching English as a second, not even a second, as a foreign language. So that means that I'm teaching my students English pronouns and grammar, and in teaching grammar and pronouns I have to do demonstrations. I have to use lots of example sentences and gestures and stuff. And as much as I try to avoid using myself in a demonstration, especially when it comes to third-person pronouns, sometimes it's unavoidable. Like, usually I try to demonstrate using a student as an example, or a picture, or whatever, but when I do have to use myself to demonstrate a grammar point or something, I have to use she, and thus I'm misgendering myself. There is absolutely no way that I can even approach the topic of singular they or non-binary genders with my students. I teach students from age 2 to like 70 or 80 something, all kinds of levels of English, and this isn't something that, I can bring up in my class. So I misgender myself, and that feels really shitty. And I have to do that a lot more than I care to admit. Or, for example, another example is games. Sometimes students separate themselves into teams based on gender. Like, I have no hand in it. It's the boys don't want to mix with the girls and the girls don't want to mix with the boys kind of thing. And sometimes the girls' team is short, they don't have enough players, so they want me to join their team as a girl. And I'm not a girl, but I can't bring that up, I can't say that to them. So again, misgendering myself. Or for example, this is a bit different. Last Christmas, there was a special Christmas week where all of the teachers wore either Santa or Miss Santa outfits. So the school had prepared like a skirt kind of Santa outfit for the female teachers. And of course they had one for me because they perceive me as a female teacher. But luckily I easily got out of that situation by saying that I hate skirts, which I do. And they had a spare pair of pants, so that was easy. But Halloween is coming up, and I'm wondering how much say they have in my costume. And I wonder if I can dress up as a cat. Obviously at work I go by my legal assigned name. Coming out or requesting to be referred to by a completely different name is completely not an option. And yeah, that sucks. I mean, I'm used to my assigned name, but at the same time it wears me down. And when it comes to sexuality issues, I have to constantly lie to people by omission and let their heteronormative, cis-normative minds run away with whatever they think about me. I can't correct them, I can't confront them, I can't just flat out say stuff. I say as little as possible, and that's pretty much lying, and I hate to have to do that. I really wish I could just be honest with people. Why do I have to lie? But I do, and that sucks, and shigatagane, there's nothing I can do about it. When I'm outside of my town, for example in Tokyo or traveling elsewhere in Japan, I do go by Vesper whenever I can. I mean, of course, if I'm making a reservation at a hotel, I have to use my assigned name because at check-in, if I walk in and ask for the reservation for Vesper and then hand them a card with a different name on it, and then they ask to see my passport and it has a different name on it, it's just a really awkward situation. So whenever possible I introduce myself as Vesper, but I can't even do that always outside of work. Especially in my own town, I try to play it safe and go by my legal name, my assigned name, because, you know, even though work is work and play is play, sometimes coworkers join me outside of work, and if someone in town outside of work calls me Vesper and my coworker doesn't know me as Vesper, it's, again, awkward situation. It almost feels like leading dual lives, like going by two different names at the same time. And it's so fucking annoying, but as long as I'm in Japan, I don't have the vacation time needed to be in America long enough to get my name legally changed, and that really sucks. About family and coping with them, my mom still is in denial, or at least refuses to acknowledge anything, really. And I haven't yet pushed her about things. Not yet. I feel like I'm quickly getting to that point where I'm going to start being more aggressive with her about it. But I'm not to that point yet. And so I'm still a daughter, and I'm still my assigned name, and I'm still not asexual, and whatever else, everything, anything. She just pretends like, yeah, nothing has changed, and she doesn't know the things that she does, and yeah, it's annoying. My little sister, in more recent years, even like before I started identifying the way I do, started referring to me as big sister, even when directly speaking to me. She doesn't use my name, whereas she used to use my name. And even though both big sister and my assigned name bother me, being called big sister really, really, really bothers me. And I wish I could correct her, but I really can't. I mean, if I could try, but I don't think it's going to change anything for various reasons. Or at the very most, it'll really hurt her feelings, and I don't want to do that, so I'm laying back off of that, but at the same time, every time she's like, big sister, it's like a punch. Anyway, back to coping. So, it looks like I'm gonna be in this situation that I'm not entirely content with for the next 3 years. How am I gonna cope? What the fuck am I gonna do? Continue to be apathetic and numb myself? Which I feel like my numbness is seeping into other things, and yeah, I really need to do something about that. So, what am I gonna do? I've been looking into and considering therapy, and not just for gender or sexuality related things. I also seriously suspect, and have suspected for years, that I suffer from depression, so there's also that. And I don't want to go into depression in this video because, I mean, that really deserves its own video. If people want to hear about that stuff, that is. Yeah, depression. But, I've found the contact info for an American certified therapist who specializes in gender variance and sexuality issues, and is in Tokyo. And yeah, I've been sitting on this contact information for weeks now, because yeah, I don't know if I want to go through therapy. I'm extremely skeptical. I'm probably one of the most skeptical people you will meet when it comes to therapy in regards to how it would or could potentially benefit me. I know that other people may find it helpful, But when it comes to me, for some reason, I find it highly questionable that paying money to someone who has a degree to listen to me talk is worth that time and effort and money. So yeah, I have the information. I could contact this person, you know, I don't know, see what comes of it, but I just haven't been able to bring myself to do that yet. If in the future I do, in the future, hopefully in the near future, but if at any time I do decide to go through with therapy, I will definitely keep you guys updated on that. So anyway, I think that this is where I'll stop this video. That's pretty much where I'm at the moment, thinking about how to get through life, coping with things, dealing with things that I know I'm not even actually dealing with when I consider myself to be dealing with them. But anyways, thanks for watching, you guys. I know this video sucked. Thank you. See you in the next video. Bye.